time, I'm at the channel, welcome. Today I'm going to show you how to mark out stones perfectly for a 7-stone cluster head. So it's 1 stone in the centre and then 6 around the outside. So it's quite a beautiful design. I haven't seen one for ages, and it's possibly because I'm not like a real jeweller anymore, so I'm not seeing customer stuff and making pieces for stock and stuff anymore. But I really like the way these stones are laid out, and it works really well, even across a flat top ring, like some sort of big signet ring with diamonds like pave set across the top, or like a proper nice like domed cluster head. So anyway, I'll show you how to mark out the stones. I'm going to keep it in mind because maybe we should do a cluster ring for a full instructional guide for the future. So anyway, today this video is kind of a short video. I'll just show you a trick on marking out 6 points around a circle, because that's useful in itself if you're making a 6-claw collet. Before I do that, let's say thank you to a new patron, Lionel Moreno. Thank you very much, Lionel. All patrons, thank you to all of you. Very grateful as always. Really make big contributions to me, or they make small contributions that make a big difference to me. So enables me to make new videos and keep the channel going. So thank you very much. And if you want to become a patron yourself, link in the description and all that. Right, let's get into this. Yeah, 7 stones. First thing that comes to mind is if you have taken stones out of a customer's piece of jewellery, like an old antique brooch or something, it's likely if they're diamonds, they're not even, they might be old cut, they're not even properly round and slightly different sizes. For this to work, I mean, just for design wise anyway, kind of obvious, the big one goes in the centre, and then what's important is the second biggest one goes to the side. You need to make the biggest ones fit, and then the other ones just look after themselves. So get your biggest stone, make sure you've got space, put it in a position where there's space for the other stones to sit around it without going over the edge. I'm gonna, it's just a demonstration anyway, it's not too important for me this one, but I put a dot in the middle. Right, what are we doing? I mean, things might come to mind as I'm doing this. Been a long time since I did anything like this, so let's just assume that's a big one. This is a next biggest. Got to position that nicely over the center one. This should be your second biggest one. I put it not touching, just like a hair width away. If I was doing a cluster head, this would be slightly domed anyway, this metal. So then you need to wipe a bit of beeswax across the surface so the stones stick to it. So I want these stones positioned how I want them to be set. And then I need a mark that runs, so I can draw a circle where the centre of these stones will be sitting over the top of it. So I do that, again, not really measuring, just do it by eye. So about there. Put a dot there, and then I will double check with magnification that I like where that is. And that's a bit far out. A bit far out, man. That's sort of alright. I'm going to leave it like that. Yeah, so now I've got 2 little marks, dividers. We've got to set our dividers, put one in that centre one, and line that up with that dot we just did. And this circle we draw now should run through the middle of all the other stones. But again, some of your stones might not match, but the sizes might not match, but you've got to make the biggest ones fit. So there's a circle. Checking it again. Put that in the middle. That one. Second biggest stone. The middle of it should run through that line, which it does. And then if you've got any smaller ones, they will be positioned the same, with the centre going through the middle. And yes, the gaps around them might increase or decrease around it, but it's probably most important that they finish at a nice circle. So anyway, cool. So that's the first bit done. Next, don't move your dividers. Simply put it on that line around the outside and just draw a little line across it. So set them anywhere, doesn't matter where you start, and then just draw a little line crossing that line. And then you've got to be quite accurate with this. Position it on, scratch the next little line. You put it on that line. Scratch the next line. And ideally you land on top of the last one. Oh, I'm just off it. But I've got two little lines next to each other rather than on top of each other, unfortunately. So just to check it, I put it in between those two lines, and then yeah, sure enough, it does line up nicely with the next one. So cool, there's my 6 points marked out around that circle. But look, I was careful then with magnification. I still got it a bit wrong. You've got to be quite accurate with these. So that accuracy means putting it on just the right spot and then holding dividers like really accurately as well, not just changing the angles every time you put a mark. So be careful when you're doing that. But yeah, that's a way to mark out 6 points around a circle. So that's all 7 stones where we would initially draw them out. That's all marked out now. So next stage is just simply we need to get the radius again of a stone, bigger stone, and then draw little circles. Those circles are quite important because they're a really helpful guide for where you're drilling, where you're phrasing, keeps the stones set in their position, you know what you're doing. So once you've got the radius of your stones, you need to draw little circles for them. Probably worth checking, you know, the sizes of them before you do them all. Again, I didn't actually put any kind of dent in the metal when I was marking out the 6 around the outside, so I need to very carefully put them on. Alright, it's got your circles marked out. I actually went a bit big when I was judging the radius of them, so they overlapped a little bit, but it's okay. So just buff it a little bit, because there's little bumps where I was pushing the metal about, pushing the dots into it. And you should have quite a good guide for your stones. Especially if you did a better job than me of marking out your radius of those stones. Right, show this first of all. Can you see how the 3 in a line, and I've got that circle that runs through the middle, and there's 4 dots either side. So it's kind of working out alright. So hopefully you can see that. I'm always asking if you can see it yet, because this camera records in high quality, but the screen that I have to look through when I'm adjusting things for you isn't good quality, so I never know what it's going to be like on the finished, on the screen. So yeah, you can see my lines kind of work. I went a little bit big with a radius so for the stones, so they overlapped a little bit, but it's not the end of the world. I basically just end up with a line around the stones, not exactly marking out where the stones are exactly going to sit. But yeah, it's a little trick I wanted to show you, because it is a trick you can do with your dividers to mark out these stones. But to be honest, if I was just getting on with the job, I probably wouldn't do all this. I'd just have the centre one marked out, and then I'd put 1 either side of it, so I've got 3 in a straight line. And then I'd have put the one to this side of it, so it's sort of just touching the centre and just touching that one, and then just go straight line across, and then a straight line across there. Quite easy, that last one should sit in there quite well. So I would do this job by eye, but I just want to let you know there are tricks you can do with your dividers, so you can work really carefully and really be sure you're getting all your lines marked out nicely. But for this kind of thing, I've just learnt to do it all by eye. Yeah, so there you go. Just want to show you that. Something popped into my mind that I learnt way in the past and never used, but it's quite useful, especially just marking out 6 points around a circle. If you're doing a 6-claw collet, like I mentioned before, it's nice to be able to just do it with your dividers. Like I say, I quite like this design, having 7 stones all the same size and as a cluster. I think it works really well. So maybe we'll do a full instructional guide using this as a top head design. Cool, right, yeah, thanks for watching. If you want to click like and subscribe, or if you want to become a patron, support me grow the channel, that'd be awesome. Links in the description to do that. And if not, just watch, enjoy, and see you on the next one. Bye.